It's been quite a while since I've reviewed a tablet last, and honestly, in the world where the tablets are kind of becoming an obsolete devices, I've held off of reviewing a lot of devices. A lot of companies have contacted me over the past couple of years, wanted me to check different devices, but every time I look at the specs, they're not anything that I'm attracted to. I've seen a lot of devices coming in with 4 gigabytes of RAM still, subpar screen resolutions, not a lot of features that I personally would like to see on a tablet, or I would love to enjoy on a day-to-day basis. A long story short, today we're looking at a tablet that changes everything to me, and I'm extremely happy to show it to you guys. Hey guys, welcome back to How It Says channel. My name is Ivan, and today we're looking at the LincPlus T3. This is a device that absolutely surprised me. You're gonna love this one because it's offering a lot of things that I'm personally looking for in these kind of devices. It has specifications that are matching the modern days that people would like to see and would love to enjoy. We're talking about Android 13, we're talking about 8 gigabytes of RAM, and we're talking about 128 gigabytes of internal storage that is expandable with micro SD card to 1 terabyte. And of course, screen resolution 2000 by 1200. So we are not talking about bad specifications here. We are seeing some very good specs and all that in a small metal body. Of course, the screen is 10.36 inch, fairly compact, and especially with the build quality offered here, you'll be very surprised to see what this device is offering. So without further ado, I'm gonna go into the unboxing, do an overview of the software, some of the features and some of the specifications and some things that I absolutely love about this device. And of course, at the end, we're gonna talk about it in the conclusion. So let's see what's inside of the box of the LincPlus. A very compact, very nice retail box with the image of the product inside. All around pretty clean, not a lot of information, just some branding of the company, the models, regulation information, and information about the company. So model, of course, LincPlus T3. We're gonna open up and check it out right away. So right on top is the tablet, packed really nicely. Underneath, we have a small user manual, which is in English. Excellent to see with some specifications right here. You can see right away we have Android 13, 8 gigabytes of RAM. This is LPDDR4, 128 gigabytes of UFS storage. We have MediaTek processor MT8781 octa-core. And like I mentioned, the screen 10.36 inch and the resolution is 2000 by 1200, which is excellent. IPS screen. The picture will be very crisp and nice. The battery capacity is 7,000 milliamp hours. We have front and back cameras, 8 megabytes and 30 megabytes respectively, with flashlight. Again, cameras on tablets, they don't really belong there, but I see the companies that keep putting them on. Just don't take pictures with these. You look silly out in the open. We have wireless, of course, Bluetooth 5.2, and we have expandable storage with micro SD up to 1 terabyte. We have 4 speakers on board, 4x1 watt speakers. They're placed on both left and right side, which is again very, very good to see, and 1 microphone as well. What's missing here right away, I can tell you, it's 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Unfortunately, a lot of companies are moving away from that, so we're gonna have to figure it out the way to output that with an adapter. USB-C to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and some explanation here on the side of the tablet, but we're gonna see it right away. Useful thing to have. In the bottom, we have a USB-C to USB-C cable. So no USB-A, just straight up USB-C. Interesting choice. This is kind of a more expensive cable. Personally, I prefer USB-A to USB-C since you can use it with any charger. But here they're providing a USB-C charger, even protected. Good to see. And the power delivery of this charger is 20 watts maximum, and it's a 5 volts, 3 amps, and maximum 20 watts. So not a bad charger. Actually, you can use that for your phone. If you're traveling, just throw that in your bag with the cable and you'll be good to go. On the bottom, we have a pin or ejection tool that we can use for that slot that we can expand. So that is it, nothing else inside. And now we're gonna launch the tablet and see how it looks. I'm super excited to look at this one on paper. The specifications look absolutely amazing. We have even pre-applied screen protector. Excellent to see. I wish all companies will do that all the time. We're talking about the metal back here, and the body actually is almost entirely metal. The only plastic portion is right here on top where the antennas for the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth are, and the rest of it is metal. Some branding on the back. It says input 9 volts, 2 amps, and the model number. And like I mentioned, on both left side and the right side, we have the 4 speakers, USB-C charging port right here, and the one that we can use for headphones. And right here on the bottom is the little tray for expandable storage. On top, we have nothing much, just the power button and the volume buttons, and let's go ahead and power it. On the back, we have the camera slightly protruding off the body of the tablet with the flashlight as well, and you can kind of see how much is sticking out. Not too much, to be honest, but if you find a good cover, something to protect it will be probably better, because this is metal, but it will easily scratch if you just throw it around in bags and stuff like that. And on the front, we have a small camera for your Zoom calls and Skype calls and stuff like that. So now that it's powered, I went through the setup. It's super easy, just like any other Android 13. And you'll see right away, let me see if I can increase the brightness here. Quite bright, you'll see that it's blinding the camera. So I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. And if we go to settings, let's see if we have automatic adjustment of the brightness. Adaptive brightness is on, so yeah, this is great. I mean, considering this is very unexpected. A lot of these tablets, at least in the past that I've seen, they don't offer this kind of feature. It's basically you set up the brightness yourself. Regardless, let me go ahead about the tablet and see what kind of information we're seeing here. Not much actually that is helping us, but if we go to system, let's see if we have any updates. Currently, this is from this year, April 5th. To 2023. Hopefully we're gonna get some updates in the future. I'm not holding my breath too much. At least it's fairly new and it's not some old build over here. Again, Android 13. This is the latest and it's excellent to see it implemented right here. But what we have installed here and what I installed, everything is default apps. I see no bloatware whatsoever. The only thing I've installed is DRM Info, CPU-Z, and Netflix. All these 3 apps I installed myself. The rest of it is by default and no bloatware whatsoever. I cannot stress enough how important it is these days, these devices to be released like this with 8 GB of RAM, with a lot of storage, with features that actually make sense and people can enjoy. There's no point of releasing a tablet if it comes with subpar hardware, if it comes with 4 GB of RAM or even less, smaller screen resolution. I mean, look at it. This looks so crispy, so clean. Because of the resolution, 2000 by 1200, it's an excellent resolution. Of course, we have the swipe to the side for Google Now and swipe up to bring all your apps. But one of the best things here right away, I'll tell you, and this is what I wanted to do, is launch DRM Info and check out the information. And what we can see here right away with DRM Info is we have Widevine level 1 security level, which means you can enjoy HBO Max, Netflix, Amazon Prime, other streaming services with their maximum possible resolution, which here it's going to be Full HD, which is perfect. They spent some money to get it certified, so we get this level of security. If it was level 3, we can only enjoy standard definition, and again, that ruins the experience of this whole tablet and this whole device. The screen is perfect, laminated, no gaps, great resolution, enough side here so you can grab it and still don't impede with the screen. Everything looks very snappy, everything is loading fast, and if I go to CPU-Z, go through some of the hardware, you can see here all the information about the CPU, 8-core, like mentioned, and if we go to the device, here is going to tell us the resolution, 2000 by 1200, 8 GB of RAM, and 128 GB of internal storage. And this annoying advertisement comes straight from CPU-Z, but at least it gives you an option to hear the wonderful sound being blasted from all 4 speakers. Excellent sound quality right here. And let me go back here and check some other things. Again, system, Android version 13 shown right away. Security patch from April 5th, like I mentioned earlier. So when it comes to the details on the software and the hardware, the company is doing everything right. There's no hidden agendas, there's no hidden information, there's no mislabeling, there's not a wrong software. I've seen plenty of tablets in the past when I reviewed, and they're advertising, let's say Android 11, and you go inside and see Android 10. So yeah, so big kudos to LincPlus for releasing this kind of device with top-notch hardware, especially for the price. Again, the CPU is not the best you can get, but it's very competent, and the combination with 8 GB of RAM with the 128 GB of UFS storage actually helps a lot for the tablet to feel fast, to feel very modern, and to feel like you're not buying some old hardware and trying to use it. I mean, everything looks very smooth. And the only thing that it's a minor gripe, but more of a wishful thinking, is if the screen was 90 hertz or maybe 120 hertz. I'm still waiting for all the companies to start releasing tablets with higher refresh rate screens, because 60 is okay. You can still consume all your media, but 90 and 120 we all now used to with our phones, and everything looks much snappier, much smoother, and would have been great to see that. But again, for that price range, I'm not expecting miracles so far. I have to say I am very, very pleased of what they're showing here. This tablet is outstanding. I've seen plenty of tablets over the years. I've reviewed plenty of tablets. Companies have sent me a lot of tablets over the years as well. And so far, I have not been so pleasantly surprised by a device with this specific size that is providing everything you really would want to get, and see how fast the transition animations are. So no problem whatsoever. Again, 8 gigabytes these days with Android, it's kind of like the minimum, or the recommended minimum. So definitely I can appreciate that from the company. You can even have options to screen record, other standard Android 13 options. And if we go through the menus real quick, storage, so by default you have plenty of storage. I've installed only 3 apps, so let's say that's 200 megabytes, so it's not that much. Out of the 128, you have only 17 used. The DuraSpeed, this is something that is kind of a specific for MediaTek processors. You can explore that option as well. But yeah, long story short, I have to say I'm very, very pleased with this tablet. But after the company messaged me and sent me the information about the specification of this tablet, I was like, okay, 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm immediately interested to see how this tablet is going to perform compared to my older ones or my other devices. They only have 4 gigabytes. And I can tell you the difference is huge. And please don't buy anything less than 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's an absolute must these days, especially for Android 13 and the newer versions coming up later as well. Solid quality. When I try to twist it, no creaks, nothing speaks low quality. I mean, the whole shell, you see how the corners are curved. Everything is well machined. The metal is very solid. It looks like a very solid and very expensive device. When you pick it up in hand, it doesn't look like cheap Chinese-made device. The word of the day, I'm extremely pleasantly surprised of what they've done here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go into the conclusion. All right, conclusion time. And what do I think about the LincPlus T3? I am incredibly pleased and absolutely surprised by what this device is offering. Again, I cannot stress enough how many offers over the last couple of years I've turned down from different companies that wanted me to review similar tablets, just because the specs were not what I would love to see in today's day and age. But here with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 8-core processor, great screen, great connectivity, great build quality, there's very little not to like about this tablet, and I'm super happy that I said yes to this review, that I wanted to see this device and I wanted to show it to you guys. And I'm happy that I was not wrong initially seeing the specs. Again, 4 speakers on board, plenty of power for those of you that want to consume some media like myself, lay in bed at night, watch some Netflix or whatever the situation is, throw it in your backpack, get it on the road when you're traveling. Again, enjoy some media, some email and stuff like that. Latest version of Android, very snappy work. The battery life is excellent, 7,000 milliamp hour battery on board. For me, this is plenty, and with brightness around 40%, I was lasting about 8 hours of battery life, consuming all kinds of media, doing email, messaging, video conferencing calls and stuff like that. I think this is great. The only thing that I'm really missing is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But unfortunately, this is kind of the story to these days. More and more devices are removing it, unfortunately, and we gotta use an adapter. And yeah, the adapter is not included in the box, so you have to supply one yourself. But we have a very good charger, we have a good cable, and a pin for opening that little door, so you can throw in a micro SD card and expand your storage up to 1 terabyte. But again, long story short, for $160 right now, of course they are running a promotion on Amazon. For $160 right now, you're gonna have a hard time finding something better. I'm telling you, with these kind of specifications, even phones these days are being released with a smaller amount of RAM. I've seen plenty of brand new phones, granted kind of a budget or lower end, being released still with 4 gigabytes or 6 gigabytes of RAM. But we're talking about a tablet here that utilizes 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I cannot stress that enough, how important it is to have more RAM with the modern days of Android and opening multiple tabs in Chrome and opening multiple applications. You definitely need that RAM to be there. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. There are a lot more videos coming very, very soon. I have tons of products to show you. I'm back from vacation and there will be a lot of exciting things that I want to share with you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.